Most people work endlessly trying to get rid of their jiggly arms, their belly fat, and the fat around their hips and butt. But can you really reduce or spot reduce body fat? Do genetics play a big role in your body composition success? In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you the truth behind the body composition genetics myth, because I know so many people out there are struggling with the pseudoscience from all the influencers and how to know what's truthful and what they should really listen to. Because of that, I created a guide that I think can be helpful to bust through the most common fat loss myths and give you usable, actionable things that you can put into your life today so that you don't become a victim of the myths that are perpetuated on social media. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brant Bermudez. I'm the owner of Nutrition First Coaching, and I help people gain back their confidence by improving their body composition through a healthy lifestyle approach that includes all the foods you love, but also dials in your habits and your lifestyle. So let's get into the video. Myth number one, you can spot reduce body fat. Well, if you've tried all the core workouts and you're doing all the glute bridges and hip thrusters at the gym to get rid of your belly fat and make your butt look better, then you've been brainwashed into thinking that you can spot reduce where your body lays down fat and make those areas tone, as we'll myth bust in the next myth here. Really what happens is you're just drawing a lot of blood flow to those areas. Sure, you're making the muscles underneath them stronger and probably bigger, but you're not going to spot reduce your body fat there. Really, all you're doing and what you need to do to reduce body fat is create the perfect environment to lose body fat. Now, there's a common phrase that helps you know how your body's going to lose body fat and where it's going to lose it from. And the last place your body put down fat is going to be the first place that it starts to lose fat from. That's why the hardest thing is to lose that last little bit of fat around your hips or your waist or even in your underarms. And you can think about somebody who's started to lose a significant amount of weight. What's the first thing you notice is their face changes significantly, because they usually lose it in their face and their neck. But the last place that guys typically lose it is going to be around their waist. And the last place that women are typically going to lose it is going to be around their hips and their butt. Because wherever your body put it on first is going to go away first. And wherever it puts it on last is going to be the last part of your body where that body fat goes away. Myth number two, and I'm really going to burst your bubble on this one. Body type determines your fat loss success. Well, that's true to an extent. Roughly 25% of your success is determined by your genetics. The other 75% is determined by your lifestyle, your habits, and everything that drives your everyday activities. Unfortunately, that 75% can be easier for some people and can be harder for other people. But no matter what your body type is, you can get the composition results you want. But your genetics is going to determine how hard you have to work to get that success. There's all kinds of examples when you walk around the gym. You get the real tall girl who's really lean, but she has a lot of trouble getting a nice good butt, so to speak, or getting real toned and defined in her arms. Or you have the girl that's barely 5 feet tall and she has a lot of trouble getting a slim waist and hips and even having some visible abdominals. That's true. All that stuff is going to be challenging to a different level depending on your genetics, but your genetics aren't your predisposition. They're just going to tell you what you have to do in terms of how hard to work to get to that point. Yeah, it's going to come easy for some people, and it's going to be a lot of hard work and require you to really dial it in for other people. But your genetics aren't your destiny. They're just going to be your starting point so that you know what you have to do and how hard you have to work at it. Myth number 3, you can tone your muscles. This is one of my favorite ones to have a discussion with people about, because there's no such thing as toning your muscle. Muscle has a certain tension, a length-tension relationship. Ignore my snoring dog in the corner. But there's no way to tone your muscle. What you have to do in order to see more muscle and to have it look better, whether it's ab definition, whether it's muscle separation of the different bellies of muscles, or whether it's even the veins that kind of separate the different muscle compartments, you have to lose body fat. And you have to get down to a certain body fat percentage, which is really determined by your genetics, what that body fat percentage is, in order for you to really see muscle and to quote unquote look very toned. Now, to give you an idea of that, you can get on the internet and you can type in these percentages and see what somebody, if you're a woman, what a woman looks like at 30% body fat, at 25% body fat, at 20, and at 15% body fat. And usually to be very, quote, toned looking, that's muscle definition, even some abdominal muscle development where you can see a 4 or 6 pack, some separation of the muscle bellies. You're gonna have to be between 15 and 20% as a woman. Somewhere in those high teens, that's when you're gonna be able to see it, but it's determined kind of by your genetics at that point. Now for a guy, it's gonna have to be even lower. They're usually gonna have to be in the 10 to maybe 14% at the highest to really see good muscle definition, see abdominal muscles, and see some compartmentalizing of that muscle along with some veins and kind of the separating veins in between there. So it doesn't come down to the tone of the muscle. Yes, you have to have the muscle underneath it, door shut, but the better your muscle is, the quicker that can come out because it'll help lower your body fat percentage and you'll have more muscle to show off. That just goes to the example of the super lean, skinny guy who has muscle tone, but his muscles are so little, he still looks like a string bean, so to speak. It's challenging. It goes down to all 3 of these myths. You have to take your genetics into factor. You have to look at spot reduction, where your genetics are going to put fat, where you can take that out, first, and where it's going to come off of last. Getting some muscle development, creating the entire environment to really get the body in the composition you want. Because I know this is super challenging and there's all this information out there and there's a lot of pseudoscience and crap that's pushed by social media influencers, not to mention TV media, magazines, you name it. I created a guide I think can be helpful for you. It's going to bust through the common dieting myths, and it's going to give you some actionable, usable things you can put into your life today. If you'd like that, put a little opt-in below. Put a little message below. You don't even have to opt in, and I'll just send it over to you. My gift for watching, for supporting me. You could also like and subscribe. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.